Hello, everybody. Welcome back to week 4 of the Uncomp Alpha schedule predictions, power rankings, and more. Today we got a special guest with us. We got Loudy with us today.
What's up, fellas?
So, very excited to get into this, but we're going to start off per usual. We're going to start with my power rankings. We're going to see a little movement here, a lot of movement, actually, almost from everybody on my power rankings. So, let's get into that. Obviously, at the start, I still have Ant. Even with a loss this week, I still have Ant as my number one team. I'm going to put no movement there. I did say last week that I think Loudy could have put off the win, and he did. Did upset me. I was really upset when I realized that I picked Ant in the matchup because I thought I picked Loudy the whole time. But still going to keep Ant as my 1. But I am going to move up Fowler to my 2 spot, and I'm going to move Loudy up a spot as well. Loudy's now going to be in my 3 spot. And those teams are just probably 2 of the most well-rounded teams in the league up at this point. There were a lot of injuries that happened this week, and I would say a lot of them really didn't affect what these 2 teams have going on. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb was the big injury for these 2 teams. But in terms of Fowler and what he's got, he... hold on. Quick little technical error. But like I was saying, obviously the big injury to both of those teams was CeeDee Lamb to Fowler's, but Fowler has such a strong receiving core and depth that it really isn't going to hurt him for the couple weeks that CeeDee Lamb is going to miss. And obviously being 2-1 already, that's not an injury that's going to hurt him too much. Obviously we might see a loss this week or next week, but he's got the depth to potentially still compete in these next 2 games, even with CeeDee Lamb going out. So I'm not going to hurt that or fault him for that on my power rankings. The biggest mover I did have this week, though, was I finally am giving Schlegel some love on these power rankings. He's moving up all the way to my 4 slot, and I've been hating on this, but it's gotten to the point that now he's 3-0. He just got Jordan Addison back. He just got Chris Godwin back. He's going to get George Kittle back very soon. Obviously, Mike Evans just went down with an injury. I'm hearing it's a mild grade 2 hamstring strain, which should only hold him out 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. He's not going to get put on IR or anything. So he'll get Mike Evans around the same time he gets George Kittle back. And then he's looking at a fully healthy team. Obviously, he picked up Jawan Johnson. He just got Scatabo as well with the Tyrone Tracy injury to basically help out with the loss of Mike Evans for these next couple of weeks. So I really like what Schlegel's got going on. I also do think he has my best QB room, in my opinion. I think between, or not best QB room, but best QB duo, between Josh Allen and Justin Herbert, both these guys are playing fantastic football right now. And as long as they're playing the level that they're playing at, Schlegel's going to keep winning games. And it's gotten to the point that I can't ignore it anymore. So I definitely had to show Schlegel some love, moving him up to my number 4 slot. And nobody actually in my rankings stayed the same. Everybody moved up from here on out, and then everybody moved down from when the people started moving down. So my next 2 risers were Ethan and Damien. Obviously, Ethan, I'm pulling up his team right quick on my end, but obviously he's 1-2 right now. So is Damien, but when you get to the only other 2-1 team, you're going to have Creeth, who I'll talk about in a little bit. But out of these 1-2 teams, I do like what Damien and Ethan have going on the most. Obviously, Ethan did hurt his team a bit with that Jonathan Taylor trade, something I wish he didn't do because he would definitely be way higher up in my rankings if he did have Jonathan Taylor on this team still. But Tony Pollard isn't a terrible replacement, and you do have Aaron Rodgers to basically safeguard you from any injury if something happens to Hurts or if Purdy can't stay healthy. So at the end of the day, it's not an absolutely terrible move for him, considering he still did get an RB to balance out the loss of JT. But I do think that his team is the most well-rounded going into this point, along with Damien's. Obviously, Damien had the Tyrone Tracy injury, but I do feel that a waiver wire pickup or a trade here and there will definitely fix that hole for the next couple of weeks while Tracy's gone. And obviously he has Trey Benson as well. Trey Benson is going to be a workhorse for the Arizona Cardinals for the rest of this season. He was already creeping on that role from James Conner, and injury is only going to basically give him all those carries. I really don't think that Amari DiMercado is going to be a big factor in that offense. If anything, just a couple carries a game. But for the same reason, I think Scadavo is going to be a workhorse these next couple of weeks. Once the injury did happen, you saw only Benson really getting a bulk of the snaps and the carries. So we're going to see mostly a replicate of that for the rest of the season unless they add a running back. And that is something I could 100% see happening if Arizona is in playoff contention come the trade deadline, because obviously I don't know how they feel about Trey Benson. They drafted him with a second-round pick, and we're going to see how he performs in the next couple of weeks. But as of right now, he looks like a great asset to an RB-needy team. So having Chuba and Benson turns this from one of the worst RB rooms in the league to one of the best RB rooms. Or not one of the best, but a very quality RB duo that is going to more than likely win him games than lose them games, because guys like that get a lot of touches compared to some of the other running backs in the league. So I like the floor that they give him. He is 1-2, obviously, but like I said, there's a lot of 1-2 teams. Beneath them were a bunch of my fallers. Obviously, Jordan was my big faller this week. He had the James Conner injury. Absolutely devastates his team. He won't be coming back anytime soon. His RB room now consists of Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Travis Etienne, RJ Harvey, and Braylon Allen. A bunch of guys that aren't really getting a lot of touches right now. JCM really needs to step out and build a role in that offense. And Etienne needs to hold off Bashal Tutin, because Tutin is looking really good with the snaps that he gets. So you're looking at probably one of the worst RB rooms in the league now that Connor isn't on this team, and especially Brian Thomas Jr., another bad week out of him. I can't keep giving him the benefit of the doubt. The more I'm seeing it, the more I'm just realizing that it is a Shane Waldron offense. And if you look at the stats between Odunze with Waldron, and you also go back to JSN with Waldron, Brian Thomas is not looking like he's due for a good year this year. Obviously, he has Ibuka. He does have Lamar. He does have Caleb. Probably the best QB room in the league. Not duo, but room. But he's going to have to make a move, get a running back, because unlike Damien's team, I think these are running backs that they could win you some weeks, but these guys are more than likely going to lose you weeks than win you weeks. Moving down to my 8 spot, I obviously have Creeth. He is the only other 2-1 team left, but I do have him down on my rankings. I really just don't like what he has going on with his team. Obviously, David Montgomery just had a massive week on yesterday. But can he maintain that? I don't really know. He broke out for 70 yards on 1 run and 2 touchdowns. He only got 10 carries. He's been kind of around that, or 11. He had 12 carries, my bad. But he's been around that 11-12 carry range this whole season. So he's going to have to continuously keep doing amazing with his touches to build value as a true RB2, because he doesn't have much else beside that. And Hollywood and Chig are his 2 other flex options. And there really isn't anything on his bench to kind of replace those 2 guys as of right now. So I really, even if he's 2-1, I gotta see a trade or something happening, or a good waiver wire pickup, because I can't see Creeth making it far this season with the depth and the current starting lineup that he's currently playing on a week-to-week basis. And in our 9 through 11 spots, the biggest faller here, tied with Jordan, is going to be Matt Negro. And same reason that I kind of have Creeth low. Matt is 1-2, but the reason I have Creeth above him, obviously, is that reason, but very similar situations. I mean, he's starting Keon Coleman, Diami Brown with no real depth behind that. Diami actually just suffered an injury, too, so he does have Matthew Golden, but I mean, can Golden and Keon really get you far? Those are 2 very, very risky options. I'm not a fan of that personally. So, again, probably another team that needs to make a trade to really start moving up these rankings, or just prove me wrong and just win a bunch of games. But obviously the last 2 teams I have are probably our 2 worst teams in the league. Devin in the 10 spot and Sean in the 11 spot. Sean easily with the worst team in this league, so I don't want to trash on it too badly. Russell Wilson is no longer a starter for him. Spencer Rattler is now his QB2. He is devastated for talent in almost every area of his lineup, aside for A.J. Brown, who's looking like a up and down play. So that's not even like a great guy to have to build your team around right now. He does have a lot of tight ends, so I'll give him that, and you can try to win off tight ends. But Sean is gonna have to be my last team. But Devin in the 10 spot again. Just nothing really special here. Quarterbacks aren't good. Terry just got hurt. He doesn't have a tight end. T. Higgins doesn't look that great. Derrick Henry can't hold on to a football. And Jordan Mason is only going to be good for so much longer. And he's 1-2, so he has to start winning some games fast to make use of Jordan Mason being the workhorse there. But those are going to be my power rankings. So let's get into our guest Loudy's, and let's see what he's thinking here. So Loudy, we obviously pulled up your power rankings on my end. Everybody can see them now, but let's hear your thought process behind these rankings.
I just looked through every single team and just thought, like, if I was their manager, what would I be thinking? Like, am I shit in the bed right now, or am I all right? And obviously for Ant, he's just completely consistent around the board. Like Cortland Sutton, he's going to get 10 to 14 points per week. JSN, it says he's projected 16.5. I don't fully believe that. But then having the backfield of Bijan Robinson and Chase Brown, Bijan, yes. I could see Ant dropping off the board later in the year based off of what we saw last week out of Chase Brown. The defense was not considering the passing game at all. And you saw him get stuffed time and time again. I mean, last week, what did he get? 10 carries?
Yeah, he did not perform well last
week. He
got
10 carries for 3 yards.
Yeah.
Which is absurd. But he does have James Cook to take up that role. And then possibly, like, if there's an injury or, like, say Chris Olave gets hurt, he could start Rashid. But I could see a fall off just based off of the predicament that team's in.
I mean, Chase Brown.
Number 2. Yeah, wait. Chase Brown is in a very bad spot.
Yeah, he needs to step it up.
I just don't think he's that guy. He's not a workhorse running back that can have all the eyes on him and take the pressure off the quarterback.
I mean, they haven't given
number 2. I got
extension for a reason, but yeah, who you got number 2?
Schlegel's team.
That's awesome.
I got to give this guy his flowers. It's not a great team by any means, but he keeps finding a way to win, and he's projected to win this week through ESPN, which is absolutely absurd. But Schlegel's team does have 4 guys who are top 10 for their position ranking, which kind of seems absurd, but not when you have Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, but Devon A-Chain being the boom player he's been. Just OP. Devon A-Chain being projected 19.8 points never makes sense.
No.
Jawan Jennings being the number 2 tight end in the league, that's going to fall off. But we were talking earlier, and
with the
Lawson does believe that Calvin Ridley will become that solidified number 2 wide receiver, or number 1 wide receiver. If that happens, there's not a huge fall off for Jawan dropping low.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so off of that, we have number 3, which is Chop Club. Honestly, another 4 guys. Oh, actually, Schlegel's team has 4 guys that are top 6 for their position. Chop Club has 4 guys who are top 10. With JT being 1, Amon-Ra being 2. And then starting Tucker Kraft, which seems absurd, but not when you're dropping numbers like Tucker Kraft. But I do believe this team's success is completely dependent on Jonathan Taylor. I could see him fall within the next 8 weeks. I could see him falling to number 9 on the power rankings easily. Say JT gets another season-ending injury. What are you going to do? Nothing. He goes back to his original spot.
Yeah. The JT trade saved his season.
It did, because Ladd's been underperforming. Cooper Kupp's underperforming. DeAndre Swift's underperforming. Bo Nix is underperforming. Bryce Young's
that good to begin with.
Yeah, to say he's underperforming is
anything,
not a
he's
lot, but
overperforming.
he is.
If anything, he's overperforming as
He
the
is.
QB19.
I did have a lot of expectations for Bryce Young going this year with the receiving core that they do have in Carolina, but I'm glad he drafted him. Otherwise, I would have drafted him, and then I would have been stuck with him. So thank you, Fowler, for that. Yeah, he got really boned, like you said, by CD getting hurt. There's just not a lot of depth here either. But that can be said for a lot of teams in this league. With such a large league and such a large bench and IR, it's just hard.
It's hard to build good
get
depth.
guys. Which brings us to my number 4, which is the man himself.
Finally hearing my team in these videos for once.
Let me pull it up. Yeah, so he's at number 4 just because there's so many guys in bad positions. Jamar Chase, horrible position. Garrett Wilson, horrible position currently. Like, he's been performing, but what are you supposed to do? Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, what's the game scheme going to be? You have no idea going week to week. Who can stay healthy? I mean, I've seen Justin Fields ball and pass for numerous yards, and then the next week, he'll just go and rush for 200 yards.
You would know it best.
Yeah, and then Genty lost an eye again. We're talking about it. He doesn't have a damn O-line. There's not a single guy out there who could block a top 30 defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going to get to him every time. If you look at Genty's stats, he's top 10 in the NFL for yards after contact, which is nuts because all of them are happening behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's an insane.
Worthy, that does help Lawson a lot that he's getting Worthy back. I could see concerns about him getting re-injured and coming back to the game too quickly.
I'm nervous about that too.
Mm-hmm. But big ups for George Pickens. Becomes solidified wide receiver 1
Huge.
for 3 to 4 weeks. He could build his confidence with Dak, and they could actually have something special there where they almost have a dual wide receiver 1 role. Whoever the best guy is on, you're not going to pass it to him. Go to the other guy, just the same.
I think that's what they initially wanted throughout the whole offseason was like they wanted this 1A, 1B type of thing. And if anything,
Exactly.
I think CD getting hurt only helps Pickens build that rapport with Dak.
Shout out Noah Sewell for that. But
No.
my last note on Lawson's team was that this team could look much better or much worse in about 7 weeks. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, even Jamison Williams on his bench, you could see that 10.7 projected drop to 6.7, or you could see it jump all the way up to like 14.7, 14.8, what we were seeing last year. And Dart getting the start. That is so huge for the bench. And Kyle Monangai there. With DeAndre Swift getting mildly hurt the last week. Oh, Monangai out of Rutgers. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. By the end of the year, once it becomes like playoff season for us or trying to get into the playoff season, I could see Monangai being the type of guy that you almost might be contemplating to start with Worthy.
I hope that happens. That's the goal.
So number 5, we got Mr. Jacking Goff. I don't have a lot of notes on this team. It's just the fact that I love this running back room. Absolutely love it. This is absurd that we let this happen. CMC, Jahmyr Gibbs. Not a fan of Josh Jacobs this year, I won't lie. I'm really suspect of that Green Bay offense. They've been able to do it, and then they haven't been able to do it. I mean, look at the Browns game. Like, that's pretty evident. But then he's also depending on Keon Coleman and De'Ami Brown in his flex positions. That's just... I don't even know what to say to that. I would want to throw away my team if I was that. But
Goddard isn't that strong either, to be honest. At tight end.
You can just with what are we 1.5 points per catch on tight ends, so that's fine by me because I could see them leaning to Goddard any other game, just be like 3rd and 2. They haven't really trusted AJ Brown a whole lot this year. They haven't trusted Devontae Smith a whole lot this year compared to last
Devonta
year's.
Smith looks not that good this year so far.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then obviously he's starting Carson Wentz. Not a great position to be in. I'm looking for the Sam Darnold. His QB room might be bottom 2 in this league.
Yeah, it's rough. That's a pretty.
I didn't realize.
I didn't even note it that much about the QB room, but it is pretty rough.
That QB room, you can't. He has no rushing quarterbacks. Nobody who's just going to put up 6 for him.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Dak only has one solidified receiver to throw to, you see that projection drop to 16.5.
I mean, that's probably one of the worst for starting quarterbacks in the league.
Yes. All right, so we are going to number 6, which is Albright. Albright's team does remind me a lot of Ant's team, where it's just, let's go for consistency. No boom, no bust. Besides the fact that his running back room is super suspect. Starting Pacheco is like a mortal sin this year.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would start Jawan Jennings this week or Darnell Mooney over Isaiah Pacheco.
I think he will. I would start Bayshal Tootin over Pacheco.
Yeah. I mean, you see what they're doing in Jacksonville. Within 5 yards, here we go, Tootin.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaiah, the split carries that they're trying to do over there in Kansas City are absurd. Absolutely absurd. I have no idea what they're doing. The guy carrying his team is Trey McBride. Shout out Trey McBride for getting a touchdown this week.
Did he? Did he get a touchdown? I didn't notice that.
I do believe he did.
Oh, already breaking the spell in week 3. I love to see that.
Yes. 5 catches, 1 touchdown on 8 targets. Which, yeah, if you're catching 5 out of 8, your quarterback's going to go to you more.
Yeah. Marv's got
DJ
to step
Moore
it up there for him.
Yes. I do see DJ Moore not having a great week this week. I will be honest. I could see DJ Moore busting. It's just not going to be one of those games that DJ Moore is needed. But it could also be one of those games that who's Rome, who's Omalide, who's Luther.
Yeah.
So
a lot
number
of mouths
7
to feed. I feel like there's a lot of options in Chicago.
So many
that
mouths
can pop off at any
Adam,
time.
That's why I have Mr. Dimes at number 7. Mr. Dimes is at number 7. I do love that QB room, Baker and May, but that running back room is pretty horrendous.
It's suspect, dude. I mean, Benson helps, but I mean, like I said, there's a floor to it, but it's suspect. I agree with you completely.
I mean, you can't even look at this game completely because he's still starting Tyrone Tracy. He needs to get on that lineup ASAP.
Yeah,
there's
no depth needed to replace it.
No. His lineup's completely dependent on booms and busts. So that's why I have him at number 7. All right, so we're going to go. Sorry about that, Mr. Dimes. Going through you pretty quickly. Not a lot to say about that team. But then at number 8, we have Mr. Creeth.
Creethanoid.
Yeah. For Creeth, I just have that he is pretty average across the board. Nothing special. Nothing great. I mean,
yeah.
It took a 29-point game out of David Montgomery for him to beat the worst team in our league. That should say enough.
That's why it's hard to even rank
rankings,
him. Like, as a 2-1 team, like it's almost like he isn't even 2-1. Like, that was such a bullshit win.
It is, but I thought, given Schlegel number 2, that I had to give him the benefit of the doubt just for the record. And if I didn't know, I did beat Anthony's team, who is ranked number 1. But, yeah, It's just so average everywhere. You have a high performer, a low performer, a high performer, a low performer. You can't count on Marvin, Devontae Smith, Chinkonkwo. Like, what
Chiggy.
is this team?
Yeah, it's just the depth. That's just
It doesn't
really-
make sense. Even not even the depth. He just didn't even focus on having a solidified or two solidified flexes. I do agree with the decision at the beginning of the year to get Devontae Smith, but then you're counting on Hollywood Brown and Chinkonkwo. Hollywood Brown. This fantasy era for him is over once Xavier Worthy probably has 2 weeks in him.
And then think about Worthy potentially coming back this week. So at most you get maybe this week with Hollywood. Worthy will be back and healthy by week 5. Week 6 you have Detroit, and then by then you're already looking at Rashee Rice back too, where Hollywood becomes
Exactly.
non-existent.
I could see Mr. Carethanoid dropping as low as our number 10 spot. So at number 9,
I could agree with that.
we got Jordan's Supreme Team. One could say Jordan's Supremely Ass Team, but he does have, in my opinion, Lawson and I differ. I do believe he has the best starting quarterbacks in this league. He has Lamar Jackson and Caleb Williams, who have both been balling. But then you get an injury that James Conner, like Lawson said. What are you going to fill it with? Braylon Allen, R.J. Harvey. What's up? And then you're depending on Jacoby, or what's his name? Bob?
Bill.
Come on.
Bill.
Bill.
Little Bill.
His name's Bill. And then Brian Thomas. You're depending on Trevor Lawrence to consistently get this ball for a second year in a row. I don't think that's possible. And then
I
your
didn't
wide
even
receiver
touch
two,
on Drake
and-
London, actually. Like, he has.
your wide receiver 2 and your tight end, they both depend on Michael Penix. Drake's coming off of a mild injury. I think his projection for 15 points is absolutely absurd, especially against the Commanders. I think they're going to lock this guy down below probably 9 points, unless he just
Drake
gets a.
London is that good to begin with. As a
I don't either, and I think Kyle Pitts is awful. Awful. If Kirk Cousins couldn't get him the ball, nobody can. Sure, Kyle Pitts is
Kirk Cousins
PRK
is pretty bad, though.
11. I know, but 11, you see the fall off.
Yeah.
Targets
He's got
8,
Ertz on his
5,
end.
6. Well, I do like that stack though. For when you get Caleb or Lamar on a bye, then you start Penix. But then
But you're not
Ibuka,
confident in a guy
he's
with
been balling.
Penix, though, starting. Like, Ibuka has
I
been
know. Ibuka's been balling. I did bet on him for Rookie of the Year. Shout out that.
Ooh, that's a good bet. That's a
Yeah, I
good
like- dude.
bet.
Shout out Daddy Dimes. I love Baker. Love Baker. If he didn't get Baker, I wanted Baker.
Baker's a beast. He's probably going to be a top 4
Baker
quarterback
balls.
by the end of the season.
Oh, dude, that's where
I'm
I
gonna
had him
like
on
I'm
my
gonna
draft
obviously
board.
have Lamar and Allen in there, but like when you think about like the other quarterbacks that could be in there, it's like
Baker.
Baker could
It's
easily
Baker.
be in that convo with like JD, Hurts, Herbert. Like Baker could
May.
easily.
You got to throw May. You got to
May's
throw
been
May in the
balling.
conversation.
May has been balling. a
Exactly.
lot.
And Mr. Dimes, he has
Underrated QB
May
duo right
and
there.
Baker. All right, so to number 10. It's Devin's daring team. I just look at this, and I'm thinking gross. Gross in an aspect of it would have been an awesome team about 2 years ago, but it's not 2023, it's 2025. The only top 10 PRK player he has is Javonte Williams, and Javonte Williams is getting carried by his week 1 performance still. Everybody else has just been below average. Below average. He has Jettas. Who the fuck cares who's throwing him the ball? Like, everything here. T. Higgins even. T. Higgins sucks.
Yeah, Higgins has been.
He's gotten 6.3, 14.6, 2.5.
They need a quarterback.
You could have started
Bengals
half the
need a quarterback.
guys on the waiver wire, and they would have had more points than T. Higgins.
Yeah.
I do like that Justin Fields is going to be healthy again.
Jordan Mason.
But I think Devin's biggest issue is him being the manager. Why is J.K. Dobbins not started since week 1?
Wow. Has he been riding the
That is-
bench?
He's been riding the bench. I looked at it.
What are we doing, Devin?
That just makes no sense to me.
Brother could be starting 5 running backs right now. That's low-key
He started
disgusting.
Wan'Dale Robinson at the OP.
Wait, he did that last week? Oh my god, he didn't pick up a quarterback and started Wan'Dale instead of Dobbins.
Instead of Dobbins, who's been one of the most consistent running backs in fantasy football.
Yo, he could have easily have beaten Fowler if he started Dobbins and any other tight end beside Cade Otton.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I think the biggest issue to his team is him being the manager.
Devin, you gotta lock in, brother.
That really, I'm sorry for being mean, but who the
Yeah,
fuck
I mean,
starts
Dobbins has to
Wan'Dale
start, bro,
Robinson
over
at
Dobbins.
OP?
RJ Harvey's getting 2 carries a week, bro. You gotta start Dobbins, dude.
I mean, even
I
now,
didn't even
say
notice that.
Taylor
That
was
actually gets me
healthy.
low-key mad that he hasn't been starting Dobbins. Like, I completely have glossed over this fact the whole time I look at Devin's team. Like, yo, that you're right. That is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, he's.
I
the
hope
biggest
Devin watches
downfall.
this and then puts Dobbins in his lineup.
I would hope too, because honestly, right now, I would start Dobbins over Terry McLaurin. Fully healthy Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin's not
He is
playing
not-
next week.
I know, but fully healthy.
Yeah.
He's not the wide receiver 1 there. Debo is.
I agree. I would start Terry over Higgins and put Dobbins in your lineup.
Dude, it's actually kind of absurd. That got me heated when I saw it earlier. I was like, what is going on here? So
He should
moving to
make a
that,
trade, bro. He's got a ton of depth.
he does have a ton of depth. He has so many pieces to make, but instead, he's...
All right, Devin's just gonna be like our 10th ranked team until he like makes a like quality move with his lineup. Because right now he's just like sitting on a gold mine that's gonna go like 1-7 in his hands if he doesn't do something soon.
I just really do not understand this.
Yeah, it's
But-
kind of that is kind of bizarre.
It is. When I saw he hadn't started, he played him week 1. He started him week 1.
He played
And then
good week
quit.
1 and then benched him.
He's played better week 2 and week 3.
Yeah. I know.
I will say J.K. Dobbins is carried by his touchdowns, but I do believe that Denver...
He's playing behind the
Denver
best
team-
offensive line in football right now.
Exactly. Once they get within the 5, Bo Nix is not going to run in that ball.
No.
It is going to be J.K. Dobbins. It's
Then-
not going to be R.J. Harvey.
As an
They do
un-
not trust R.J. Harvey enough yet.
As an unbiased Broncos fan right now, we have easily lost ourselves the last 2 games. More so than the other teams that beat us. We should easily be 3-0. Like, Dobbins is on a good offense. Like, the Broncos offense isn't bad. Bo Nix has just missed a couple of throws. But I'm a big fan of, like, having guys in good offenses. And as long as Dobbins is getting this workhorse role that he's been getting week in, week out, he should be a must start in your lineup.
Yes.
So-
And being from higher elevation, he should be a higher workhorse when he goes and plays against other teams.
Yeah,
Which
100%.
you can expect at least 2 to 3 more carries, which could be 5 points, could even be 15 points. Who knows?
It only takes 1 carry to put up a maximum of, like, I think the maximum amount of points you can get on a carry is 9.9 plus 6, so 15.9. If you get a 99-yard rushing touchdown. I mean, David Montgomery had a 70-yard rush yesterday. He almost scored on the touchdown there. That would have been a 13-point run right there. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy. You got 13 points in one run almost. No,
It's
more,
even more.
because you were on like the 2-yard line. That was almost the longest run possible.
What's even crazier is that that's what made Creeth win.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that wasn't.
No,
the
it was the garbage
later in the
time
game.
touchdown that he would have lost if he actually fell down like Goff told him to do. But he went in and scored anyways. Goff was telling him to go down. I think it was the right
Honestly-
thing to do for him to score in that position, but imagine he didn't score right there. Creeth would have lost.
Now they're talking about this live. I'm moving Jordan to 8, Creeth to 9. I'm swapping it.
Live swap.
Live swap. The more I'm thinking about it, like.
Yo, yeah, you gotta like edit that on like the cameras.
All right, so then at our number 11, we have Sean's super team. Again, I think there should be a change of names here to Sean's super bad team.
Super
This team is a
atrocious,
burning
garbage dumpster fire.
One of the notes I have is that this team just lacks talent on every level.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help that Lawson did fleece him. I can't imagine ever trading for a quarterback you're only going to start for 3 weeks. If he would have listened to a single fantasy podcast, he would have heard that Russell Wilson's time in New York is very limited. They were talking about it week 1, moving to Jameis Winston or Jackson Dart, depending
Mr.
on what that
Unlimited is
O-line
very
situation.
limited.
Dude, I can't. Honestly, I'm looking right now at his team, and I don't know how he wins a single matchup this year. I'm dead serious.
I can attest with you that I think the only way he would win a matchup would be if TreVeyon Henderson somehow becomes an RB1 and he just pulls off like a very random fucking week.
Like I don't know.
He has to
I
catch
don't
somebody
know.
lacking to win a game, and at that point, you're cooked. Like you're not
Hey,
going into
He
any
might
weeks.
catch Devin. He might catch Devin lacking.
Yeah, but like at that point, when you're at a point where you just have to catch a team lacking to even win a game, like you're not making the playoffs at that point. So there's no chance that Sean will ever move up past the 8th ranked team, at best in the rankings for the rest of the season.
Like, honestly, if I was Sean, I'm starting Jacoby Myers at wide receiver 2, benching Troy Franklin, starting Mark Andrews, and Dalton Kincaid. Like, there's not a lot you can do, but there are things you can do. But that running back room, it's like Sean forgot what a running back was during the draft.
I'm
Or a
just
wide
kind of
receiver.
surprised.
Or
that
a quarterback.
I mean, obviously he went with Mixon, which is a
Joe
brutal
Burrow.
blow. But I mean, like, I feel like it's also like pretty lethal that even drafting Mixon, you're going into the year knowing TreVeyon Henderson is going to be your RB2. And I was talking to one of my friends who's a Patriots fan, and he told me something that like really stuck with me that I didn't even like think about at all during the draft process is the Patriots like coaching staff now is very like old still. Like they very like hardened staff. Like Mike Vrabel and them, like they're gonna value seniority in that system. Like
That's how the
Ramondre,
past
I like looking back on it, Ramondre was always going to be the RB1 going into this season, and TreVeyon was gonna like obviously the fumbles and everything is giving TreVeyon way more looks, way more snaps, and it's gonna make him the RB1 quicker. But obviously Sean, like he's 0-3 now, and his team only got worse. Obviously like Burrow injury and shit like that. But it's just like brutal that he didn't like think ahead to try to get like another running back, because like what if Mixon doesn't come back? Are you just gonna start a dud at running back for the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, for the next whole season?
He's already made that decision.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
he did. That's why
Yes,
he's
I
0-3 now. That's why he's 0-3 now. That's why he's stuck in this 11th spot.
No, the reason he's 0-3, like you could, what did Mark Andrews have last week? 30.6 points. He blows Creeth out of the water if he just makes that start instead of Khalil Shakir or Troy Franklin.
The Troy Franklin play probably wasn't smart. I don't hate it, though. Obviously, he did play well week 2. I mean, I started him in a league. I did think he was going to do a little more than what he did.
I just don't think you should have Troy Franklin at that wide receiver.
I think he should have just. I do think, though, that Andrews and Kincaid probably should have been in the starting lineup. It is kind of crazy,
Either
though.
one of them.
Yeah. Keenan Allen is the wide receiver 6. Hunter Henry is the Hunter Henry is the tight end 4, so I feel like Sean just has to be
it's the same boat as Javonte Williams.
Sean just has to be a little more confident in his fucking tight ends, dude. Like he
has ballers.
Yo, I will say this though, like Sean is like a trade or 2 away from salvaging the team. Like even at 0-3, only 4 teams missed the playoffs. There's a bunch of 1-2 squads right now. Like, he just has to grab a win in these next couple of weeks, make a move, and he could contend again. Obviously, Rattler isn't ideal, but like, I mean, I don't hate AJ Brown. I don't hate Hunter Henry.
ESPN currently has Lover at a 22% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I
just think, like, I mean, he's got Andrews and Kincaid. They're going to be tight end needy teams in the league. He has Hunter Henry, too. Like, he could always trade Kincaid and Henry. It's both top 5 tight ends right now and just rock with Mark Andrews and try and get some talent to salvage the rest of his lineup. I mean, Jacoby isn't playing awful. Neither is Keenan Allen.
I just don't know why he's not starting Mark until Likely's fully back.
I mean, Mark hasn't been great, though, at the same time. So it's not like I don't hate the decision, though. I mean, he put up 1.9 and 2.0 weeks 1 and 2.
On how many targets?
4 total targets.
But you see the increase.
I feel like it's hard to
It's hard to tell week 1, week 2, going into week 3.
I feel like at this point, though, Mark Andrews, I feel like at this point, it's now Mark Andrews is a must start. Kincaid is a must start, and Hunter Henry is a must start. So yes. I mean, you move Jacoby to your wide receiver 2 with AJ Brown. You put Shakir on the bench, and you start Keenan Allen with the 2 tight ends, and you could put up a fight.
And you say, "Oh well, fuck, the 2 guys boomed. That's my bad."
Yeah.
You can't predict that. You're not in their head.
No, so but I think it's now... And the same thing with Devin. I mean, Devin's a little worse because Dobbins has been playing well and he's been sitting on the bench. Now it's in, like, Sean's case, and it's like, all right, if Sean goes into these next 2 weeks and the lineups are still looking atrocious, it's like, all right, this is on Sean now as a GM.
Yes. That's why I didn't bring up the fact that he wasn't starting him, because that's not completely on him. You have to see the future.
This is a massive week for him. Obviously, it's a rough matchup. We'll get into that, but we'll have to see what happens. Let's go into the matchups, though, for the week. Let's move into our...
Did you see Schlegel spent $6... Schlegel only has $40 left.
Who did he spend $65 on?
No idea. But he is the lowest in the league. So that is a big point to note that later in the year, say there's a guy who comes up, Schlegel is not going to be able to compete for him.
That's interesting.
He spent $10 on 2 guys.
DeAndre Hopkins and Cam Akers. He spent $20.
$10 on both of them?
Yeah, that's a weird... I think the fab's got to come into a little more... I also was thinking... And I'll ask you live. I know right now I have the offer minimum set to $1. How would you feel?
I agree.
Do you agree with that? Because
Because
it
there's
kind of forces
like,
you. It kind of forces you to hold on to like 10 fab at least by the end of the season playoff time if you need to pick up a guy. So not
and like bring back what I got Mark Mariota for. I got him for $3. I thought somebody might throw two at him, somebody might throw one at him.
yeah.
Instead of making the fab like $5 minimum,
I was gonna make it.
makes
I was gonna say 0
no. I would
because then
definitely
you'd be
stay
able
at
to
a
pick up a
fab
guy
of
for
at
free.
least
You
one.
think $1? All right.
No, yes,
Obviously,
fab
people watching
needs
the
to
video
be-
at this point, if you want to give your opinion in chat, if nobody gives their opinion, then I'm just gonna leave it as $1. But that was something I
I know
was
Schlegel's
considering.
opinion.
That was something I was considering though before, because I do think that maybe by the end of the season it could get a little rougher if all the teams spend their fab. But I know last year it worked out, so I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work out this year. But I was just thinking that potentially. But we're gonna go into our first game of week 4, and that is gonna be Damien versus Albright. A battle of the 1 and 2s. Got these guys very similar to each other on the power rankings. So, what are your sorry, I read a text right there. What are your thoughts going into this matchup? Obviously, Damien right now not really knowing what that flex situation is going to turn out to be, and even then, we're not looking at a massive swing in Albright's way. Albright only being projected 10 more points than him. That could raise if Pacheco gets out of the starting lineup, which I do predict will probably happen. But obviously, Damien's now going to be playing with a waiver wire guy or somebody that's been lurking on his bench. But what are you thinking right now when you look at this matchup, Vladdy? What are your thoughts?
Give me Mr. Dimes.
You like
I love
Damien?
it. Devontae Adams is going up against the Colts. One of the best secondaries in the league this year. I think they have him on locks. Warren's going against the Vikings, and I see that being a classic, just low-scoring Steelers game where it's like 14-7, 14-8, 14-9. I don't think this game reaches the 20s at any point. If it does, Warren could boom, but also Warren could bust. I think this is a pass-heavy game. I
Coach
just
Rodgers
don't
too
see
in that
it.
scenario too, because
Mhm.
I agree with you. I do think that's going to be a very low scoring
Exactly.
game.
And then I do see both these guys not really booming on any point, and I see both their predictions dropping into the 130s and it being very tight in the 130s.
I also think that even though Perch is projected more, I think the Buccaneers are going to win this game versus the Eagles, and I think Baker's going to outplay Hurts. So
And say the Bucks don't beat them, and the Eagles just start dropping bombs on them, and they get up 14-0.
Baker's going to pass.
Guess what time it is?
Baker
It's
long football
Mayfield
season.
time. Uh-huh. There we go. I think Rome could also have a very huge game against Las Vegas. He's tied for first in the NFL for touchdowns. That's also why he's
Yeah.
PRK number 3.
I think Rome will
I
still
see
have a
that
solid day
falling
though.
off.
I think Bowers is also
Yeah.
due for a massive game. I feel like Bowers is going to finally be like fully
Yes.
healthy, and I really think that we're going to see a lot less Trey Tucker being fed, Jacoby Myers being fed. I think the offense is going to start circulating around Bowers again.
But then on Neighbors, it starts first start.
Yeah, I am a little nervous about that, definitely. But
But I could see Neighbors being the most friendly target.
that's
Too dark.
that's another thing.
But
I
it
could
just
see
depends
happening.
on the routes they have Neighbors run.
I think they're going to run a whole different playbook this week, in my opinion. I think they're
And
going to
then
run
Quinn
like a whole
Johnson-
different.
Yes. A whole different scheme. I would say so. You have to.
I think the game will be high scoring too, if anything. Chargers, Giants. Probably seeing a lot of bad defense on the Giants end. Chargers will get down the field. Giants will probably throw the ball a lot, in my opinion. And if they aren't throwing the ball a lot, it's going to be a close game, which I don't really see happening in Dart's first start versus the Chargers. I mean, you're throwing this kid into the fire right now.
I will say I do not see the Chargers losing either. So, but I also, with Quentin Johnson on his flex, don't see him getting a touchdown. the Chargers getting a touchdown, I think that they more lean on Ladd McConkey and Omarion this week
I could see that.
rather than
I
that
think Ladd
long
McConkey's due.
45-yard bomb, 47-yard bomb.
Yeah, I think they're gonna take it. I think they're just gonna like take their win, not do anything too fancy. Run it with Hampton.
So
Give-
you're on the side of Mr. Dimes.
Oh, I definitely do think I'm gonna take Damien in this matchup. I mean, I saw it firsthand last week. Damien's team coming up and almost beating me. I mean, it took. I don't remember what it was. I gotta look back at my team and I'll remember the name. It was the 4 p.m. slate on George Pickens that absolutely saved my team. He had a massive game, and then I ended up going up a bunch versus Damien, and I ended up having
You're also
JMO.
really lucky.
I also the Tyrone
Malik
Tracy
Neighbors
injury
only had 3.3
and Neighbors.
as
Yeah,
well.
and then I remember I had what's it called? JMO versus Tracy, Neighbors, and Laporta up like I think it was like 30 or 40 points. So I was like
Yeah, there's a
looking
little bit
real.
of poop in your pants.
Yeah, I was kind of shitting myself, and then I'm looking at the game and I'm like, all right, Neighbors ain't really doing much. Like I can live and be fine if Tracy has a solid game, and then I see Tracy just die, and I was like, oh, I'm chilling.
I didn't even see
I'm
the
chilling.
injury. What happened to him?
It looked a lot worse than like what actually happened. They're saying dislocated
Just a
shoulder,
dislocated shoulder.
but it like I don't know. It like looked like he like broke his wrist or something. Like the way they were like holding his arm and like the way like because they were like walking him out and is like obviously it was like they're holding him like this because it's like the dislocated shoulder, but it was like
Yeah.
it like just looked like a wrist injury the whole time.
Yeah,
so
he looks limp.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I figured, and the way he got hit, I thought they like hit him like right here on his wrist. So I thought, oh, they totally just broke his wrist. But only like 2 to 4 weeks, so that isn't like terrible, but definitely helped me out. But again, I do really think that Damien isn't a bad team. I think that he's been a little unlucky at times. So I'm gonna take this matchup. I also think we're gonna see a little bit of a Seattle kind of fall. I'm pretty big on the Cardinals this year as a team. I'd like
Even
to-
after Connor got hurt?
I think if anything, that might make them a better team. Weirdly enough, because I think I really don't. A lot of people are hating on Marv right now. I think Marv is gonna pick it up. I think he's gonna be just fine, and I think that the passing offense will work a lot better when you just kind of have like Benson to work with, and I
That's
like
fair.
I like Benson as a receiving back, so I think that Benson will basically like help the game a lot as a receiving back. You're going to see a lot more like pass options out of that offense. So I think that Arizona might low-key dice up Seattle's defense, which hasn't really been done this year. But I think we
Hasn't
might.
been done in multiple years.
Yeah,
Arizona dicing up any defense.
I think Arizona's due though, bro. I really do. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks, so I'm kind of like still just like riding my wave on it. But I really haven't been the biggest fan of James Conner this year. I think Benson's been the more productive back. I think James Conner just kind of got catapulted up a little bit with those touchdowns that he had. But I think that we're going to see a lot more deep passes out of the offense. I mean, they're already trying to do it with Marv. He's just dropping the ball. And I really don't think that that's going to be a thing that holds on all year. I think Marv is talented enough to put this game past him rather than let it affect him the whole season. I mean,
That's fair.
if you look at like all the Ohio State receivers that played with Marvin Harrison, like the best guys in the league, they all say that Marv was the best out of all of them. So I think he's due. I think that the system has got to change now that Connor isn't there because you don't have that kind of back that you can rely on to just like ground and pound you a bit. So I think the offense is going to change, and I think it's going to change for the better in that case. So I do like it. Obviously, Seattle is tough. Like I mean, it's never easy to go against Seattle, but I think the lights are on for Arizona, and I think if there's a game to prove that they're a competitive team this year, they're gonna want to come out on Thursday Night Football and make a statement versus Seattle. So, I'm liking the whole Arizona offense. So I think that Trey Benson will do good. Basically, kind of just like going off a lot of what you said, though. I think if there's one player in the lineup I'm a little nervous about, it's probably Chuba Hubbard, just because I'm not a huge fan of running backs against the Patriots D line. I mean, Milton Williams has been absolutely amazing this year for them. So, and of course, it's just the Panthers' offense. I mean, the Panthers looked good against the Falcons, but the Falcons looked so bad. Like, actually, like, they looked like easily the worst team in football last week. So I can't even give that to the Panthers as a bonus. But
I think if Hubbard can find a way to sneak in the end zone, Damian will be in a great position.
yeah, Hubbard just needs to find the end zone. But I am going to lean with Damian on this matchup. Moving into our second matchup, we're going to have me versus Fowler. And I believe this is probably the closest projection of the whole week. So
yeah,
I'll let you
My
talk
number
about
one
this.
note is that this matchup could go either way. Completely either way. I mean, Lawson's got Bucky Irving going against Philly, which, depending on the game script, depending on how that game goes, how Baker plays, how Buka plays, how Mike Evans plays, like, it's really dependent on the score of that ball game, how many points he gets. Do not completely love Quinshon Judkins to play very well this week. I do think he'll hit his average. Jamar Chase, really shitty position. I almost think he could get 4 points.
I
and
don't
be
like
done.
Jamar versus PS2.
Exact. That's the number one thing in my mind when I see this is just like,
When I look at it, like on paper, I would pick Fowler in this matchup, and
that's exactly who I have.
I think he's got all the matchups leading his way. And when it's this close, I feel like you got to just lean matchups. So I don't fault you one bit for going with
The
Fowler
matchups
here.
just lean his way.
I
But
mean,
also,
almost every one of my guys has a tough matchup. I mean, Cowboys versus Green Bay, Chiefs versus Ravens, Jamar versus Denver.
he could boom
Judkins.
versus the Bears.
I think that's the biggest boom in my lineup potentially would be
Potential,
Genty.
yeah.
Everybody else has got some pretty
Or
tough
Pickens. It's a
It's
decent
just Green
secondary.
Bay, though. I mean, Green Bay just doesn't give a
Yeah.
lot of points. They're a tough secondary. D-line is
But
so good.
I honestly think this game, or you guys' matchup, comes down to who has the least number of players to bust.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what it comes down to. Who can be the most consistent across the board? Because I don't think that either of you guys,
who scores just the most like touchdowns overall. Like it's just gonna be a battle of like, it's gonna be two really good teams that are gonna put up good numbers. It's just like, who's gonna have the one or two guys that drop you 6-7 points, and who's gonna have the guys that are gonna like get you 6-7 touchdowns. Oh my god, I did it twice. Oh my god. I did it twice. Who's gonna get you the like more touchdowns in that scenario?
Honestly, yeah. I don't really think there's any player on either roster that's going to boom over 8 points past their expected.
Yeah, I mean this is just a it's a battle.
Even Jonathan Taylor this week, I could see him getting 12 points.
Yeah.
Against the Rams line.
Yeah.
Very possible. So we're moving to Jordan's Supreme Team and Jack and Goff.
Yep. So you were gonna take Fowler, and obviously we both took Damian in that first matchup. And moving into our third, we are gonna have Jordan versus Matt. Obviously the projection is not going to be accurate because James Conner is still in the lineup. So Jordan is currently down 14 points. Don't know where he recovers that. I mean, Dobbs and Ertz will get him about probably 10 of those projection-wise. But I mean, Matt is still likely going to be projected to win this week, no matter what.
Yeah, I do have Matt winning. He's just unless Zay plays the same way as he did last week. Josh Jacobs has a terrible performance. I mean, I could see De'Ami Brown getting 0 points.
If he plays.
Exactly. But then he starts Matthew Golden, which then it's a target share there, and Matthew Golden could only get 7.6 points.
Uh-huh.
But I think this running back room from Matt is just gonna completely overtake this ball game, unless somehow Lamar Jackson and Caleb both go off for like 35, 40 points. But we saw it last week where Jordan's quarterbacks combined for 62 points, and the other 8 guys on his lineup only combined for 89.8. So I think that
I just find it hard.
This handedly.
I find it hard to bet against Negro's running backs here. I mean, he's just got a good matchup this week for him. It's really like the way I see Jordan winning this matchup is through his quarterbacks, and if his quarterbacks can really outplay Matt's quarterbacks. But I just don't know if that's even going to be enough to match up for the running back difference, along with I mean, Josh Jacobs is just a beast. The receiving core is playing better for Matt at this point. It's hard to bet against Gibbs and McCaffrey at this point when the other team's going to be starting ETN and JCM. Like, is JCM even going to get 30% of the snaps next week?
I don't think it even matters on the quarterback action. Last week, they dropped 62 points against Jalen Hurts, 22.6, and Aaron Rodgers, 17.9. And he still got beat by 14 points against a very mid-performance from Albright.
Yeah, I think Jordan's team is falling off a little bit. His guys just aren't playing good.
That's why I have him at 9.
That's why I dropped him too. He just has to, it just sucks that his guys are getting hurt and not playing well at all. Like, the only thing saving his team right now is Lamar. But yeah, I mean, it's just unlucky, dude.
Come on, give props to Caleb. He was the highest scorer on.
Oh, dude, Caleb's a dog. Caleb's
32.1 points.
The quarterback room is insane. It's going to win him games.
It is.
And a Egbuka too, but I mean, everything else in his lineup has to step it up.
You can't expect Ibuka's first week out of him every week, though. I do think his past 2 weeks, that an average out of those two is exactly what you're expecting.
He'll be a double-digit scorer every week, but he's not going to drop 13, you 20 points.
Around 13 points.
Yeah, I like that number.
But then,
so what's up?
I think Jordan's team might get blown out by 40. Now I'm seeing McMillan going up against a very rough defense.
Gonzo's probably going to be healthy this game, I think. Yeah, I think this might be one of the bigger blowouts of the week. I mean, Matt just got the matchups too. I mean, I like every one of their matchups. Gibbs against Cleveland, McCaffrey against Jacksonville. He might get 60, 70 points right there. Maybe 80 points out of those two, bro. I could see both those guys putting up high 30-point weeks if they both get, like, the luck on their side. Obviously, like, it's really unlikely, but, like, if there's any two players this week to put up close to 40 points, it's going to be McCaffrey and Gibbs, I think.
Yes. Dude, McCaffrey's in the best position, just boom every week while everybody's still hurt.
Cleveland's defense has been, like, so stout this year, but, like, I think they're due for just, like,
I think that
like a ripping.
Green Bay,
like the
Green
Ravens rip them
fraudulent.
up. I think the Lions rip them up if the Ravens rip them up.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw what the Lions did to the Ravens yesterday. Like, that might be another 40-point loss for Cleveland.
That's where Quinshawn for your game.
It's probably not going to look too good. Yeah, no, I agree. I do like Quinshawn for the whole season, though. He's going to be the fucking workhorse there. He's going to be a beast.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I've been all over Quinshawn Judkins.
That's such a good pickup late in the draft by me. I was surprised he honestly fell where he did. I thought somebody would bite him at some point.
Only league I would touch him in would be Dynasty, and I did touch him a lot.
Yeah, I touched him in Dynasty too. I got him in one. Moving into
Just like, yeah.
moving into our fourth game though. We have the 3-0 Schlegel projected to be 2-1 Creeth. And I do think Schlegel pulls out another win this week. I'm gonna finally side with it. I think Schlegel goes 4-0, dude. I don't like. I think his team is just actually just better than Creeth's right now, even with the guys on IR and everything. I think this lineup is better than what Creeth has.
I have Schlegel's team as well. The one note I have is I'm riding with a hot hand. Give me Schlegel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would I go get anything else when I have Creeth at number 8, and it's just average across the board? If he booms, he booms.
I mean,
Schlegel's team is consistent.
Schlegel's been winning every game. And that's like with guys like Calvin Ridley in his lineup putting up like 3 points. Like Ridley's due for a good game. Like I really believe that. Like I obviously I know the offense is weird. I mean Callahan just called him out and pretty much said like step it up, Ridley. So I do think that he's gonna step it up. I mean Godwin, Addison back this week only helps him out. I mean Godwin will probably play a very similar role to what Evans was putting up numbers-wise with Egbuka in the lineup. So that'll probably be a wash right there in terms of the Evans injury. And obviously he's got... Obviously Creeth's quarterbacks are his strong suit with Mahomes and Jada Daniels. But A, Jaden Daniels has to play. And B, I think I'm going to take Josh Allen against New Orleans and Justin Herbert against the Giants over those two, no matter who they're playing, just because of how bad the matchups are for the other two. I mean, Josh Allen against the Saints is looking like a massacre of a game for him. And I don't want to.
I could also see Josh Allen only getting around 16 points because they do it so quickly and it's through James Cook.
I think the Saints are so bad that there'll be so much time on the clock and they'll do it so quickly and easily that, I mean, Allen's just bound to get points. I mean, look at Seattle.
Yeah.
And the Bills are, I mean, I like Seattle, but the Bills are a way better team than Seattle.
They are. Much. They're not even on the same playing field.
Like, I think the Saints are in their own tier of bad this year. Like, even below, like another tier below the Browns and teams like that. So, I do, even if Allen doesn't have a good day, he's going to put up a good amount of points still, in my opinion.
Yeah. I could just see that floor being pretty low. I could see the floor being even like around 12 points. But
I mean, I'm not going to say I don't see it happening just because of how much like James Cook could be productive, but I do think that Allen's going to have a good game.
I'm just worried that New Orleans sucks so much.
I completely agree. That is the big worry there.
Yeah.
You have to be worried about that. So you're taking Schlegel with me?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking pretty similar this week, and I mean, I'm not going to lie.
The only one we differed on was Mr. Dimes, right?
No, I think Damien's going to win too. I took Mr. Dimes in that one.
Okay.
And I don't really think... What's up?
The next two don't even
I was just about to say, I really don't think that these next two are going to take too much to talk about, because we're going to have Devin versus Ant. I think Devin...
Devin's getting his ass whooped.
I think this is your fantasy bye week. This is a week where you huddle your guys together, you give them a pep talk, you say, boys, we're 1-3, we got to get the season together, and from week 5 on out, you just start picking the right lineup, and you got a chance. I don't think you could pick a lineup that would beat Ant this week.
I think Ant could give Judy and Pearsall the week off, just throw them on the bench, just let him sit, and he still kicks Devin's ass.
Ricky's taking a week off. He's still recovering from the gunshot.
Just put him on the bench, let him chill out. There's not even a conversation to be had here.
Phil J said he could take the week off.
It's a 25.5 point spread.
Yeah. And that's not even And that's assuming Terry plays. That's assuming Terry plays. And
Like-
Justin Fields plays.
And that's that.
I don't see it happening.
If so, Justin Fields playing would bring in another 10 points. So we'll put Devin at 140.
But
He's
you're
still
gonna
down
lose. You're gonna
16
lose probably
points.
6 points on Terry. 4 to 6 points on Terry.
And dude, if I was Ant, set the lineup. Don't check fantasy until Tuesday. You know you won.
Ant doesn't even need to set a lineup, bro. Ant doesn't even need to check this league
No.
for another week.
No.
Check the
Be
waiver
respectful
wire.
to your
Check the
two
waiver
flex
wire.
players. They've
See
been
if you want to
playing hard.
add anybody. At this point, I don't even think he can add anybody. I mean, there's nobody I would drop. Maybe you drop Wicks or somebody. That's if you like it. Just keep your fad. Keep rolling on to the next week. You're the number 1 ranked team. You just keep winning games at this point. Just make it to the playoffs with your squad. Hope nobody gets hurt.
Honestly, yeah.
Like
what I did.
if I'm Ant, that's what I'm doing. I mean, you got a good team. Like your team's gonna put up a lot of points. So if you just make it to the playoffs, you just gotta hope the playoffs go your way. Because at that point, once the playoffs hit, it doesn't matter who's on your team. It just means if you could put up enough points to move on to the next round. Because I mean, fuck. If Sean makes the playoffs somehow, some way, I'm not gonna completely count him out just because he made the playoffs. I mean, just because he's like the 8 seed going up against the 1 seed. Like, I mean, fuck. Like, if the matchups are in Sean's way for that week, like, I mean, Sean, like, this is just like a theoretical, obviously, but like, if the matchups go a team's way during the playoff week, I mean, I could easily see the upset happening. But like, in a matchup like this, though, I mean, obviously, I don't see that upset happening. But I mean, Ant's just got to keep rolling
honestly,
to the playoffs.
We do have 6 through 8 is completely interchangeable
Yeah.
with how those teams are healthy.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I would even go as far to say 9, and I would put like Creeth in there a little bit too. Like he's kind of interchangeable in that range. I feel like his team isn't like too far gone. I feel like it's,
My 6 through 8 is Albright, Mr. Dimes, and Creeth. Like those 3 could easily swap out for Jordan, Devin, and Sean.
wait. Where do you have Matt then? In yours, I forgot.
I have 5.
You have him at 5. Okay.
Just
I think
because
I think I have him a
him
little lower. That's where I was thinking. Because I was gonna say I kind of have like Matt, Albright, Damian, Jordan, Creeth, all in that like same kind of like interchangeable range.
Just having Gibbs, CMC, and Jacobs though, it's
It's
I
gross.
don't-
It's gross,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, if he can make the playoffs, I would not want to verse that team in the playoffs. Absolutely not.
no.
But
If I'm a 1 seed going up against number 8 Jacking Goff,
I'm probably shitting my pants a little bit. That's an upset waiting to happen.
yes, not even upset at that point. I would just accept it.
A team like Matt's is like the ideal team I wouldn't have to see until the fantasy championship. Like if I'm the one seed, like I'm hoping he's like 2 or 3 or like 7, 6 seed. Like
just
get him on
Just
the other
please
side of the
don't.
bracket.
yeah, exactly. Because like those 3 guys alone, they could all drop 40.
It's just the rest of the
Realistically-
lineup, dude. He just has to build that out. But it's like it's really solid still, dude. Like,
It is.
but moving
But
into
speaking
our
of gross,
what up? Yeah, moving in our 6th game is even grosser than the other one. Loudy versus
Dude.
Sean.
he has one player projected to get more points, and it's Keenan Allen over Michael Pittman.
That's terrible.
That's
Because
really all I
I
have
don't
to
even
say.
think that happens, bro. I'm a big Pittman guy. I think he's wide receiver 1 in Indianapolis. Over Josh Downs, over
They-
Alec Pierce.
Dude, they share the ball so well.
Oh,
It,
I don't think there's like a true wide receiver 1 there, but I think if there's like one like guy, I think it is Michael Pittman. I think when you look at the end of the season, you're gonna see Pittman was probably a marginally step like Pittman wide receiver like 30, maybe wide receiver 25 or higher, while Downs will be like top 40 if that. Maybe top 45.
I mean, Dude, the 1 week I bench him, drops 19.3.
Yeah,
But started Iowa Manor, got me a touchdown. That's all that matters.
matters. I don't think you can go wrong with your lineup this week, though. You've got a bye week.
No. I mean,
All you got to do is literally.
we didn't even speak about Omari and Hampton, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Omari and Hampton
he's now a
could be
bona
the
fide
golden
RB1.
goose.
I mean,
this
when
year.
when we talk about Matt's team, I mean, you're essentially like a slightly worser RB room, but
Yeah.
way better team overall because you've built around it. You still have the wide receiver 1 in fantasy. I mean, Puka's a monster. I mean, you've built up that Saquon, K9, Hampton RB trio. Like, that is gross. Like, I know we spoke about it before. We think like K9 will maintain his role throughout the season. Sharp's only getting
Or
hurt.
progress more.
Like, as long as he stays healthy, I don't see him losing his role. The way he has to lose his role is he gets hurt, Sharp comes in, Sharp plays amazing, and then becomes a split backfield where Sharp continuously is outperforming him, which I don't ever see happening. Because the moment you saw
At least
Sharp,
not this year.
yeah, like if like K9 has to just get older and take a step back, but it's getting to the point that Sharp's gonna be in what, year 3 or 4 already. Like, he probably just isn't the guy. He probably is just a backup running back they drafted for some insurance. Like, it's just gonna be K9's backfield, I think. But I mean, either way, like, it could be Sharp's backfield next week, and it's not gonna matter versus Sean's team. I don't think.
No. I don't believe either.
The saving grace
Chris
is gonna be the tight ends.
Olave.
Yeah, I mean
Chris
that'll be a tough game
Olave.
versus Buffalo. I mean, they just gotta complete passes.
Dang.
But
Who's
like, I
starting
mean, all the
Spencer?
passes are like 10 yard, like 2 yard fucking
Oh.
drag, 2 yard drag, 3 yard drag, bubble screen. Like,
Yeah. I mean, Sean is starting Spencer Rattler. And I don't think Spencer Rattler throws for a single touchdown this game.
if he does, there's a 50% chance it goes to Olave. The other 50% is. The other 40% is Jawan, and they'll give a 10% chance that somehow Rattler gets a ball over 25 yards down the field and it ends up in Shaheed's hands.
Yeah. No,
10% chance.
I think this is the most dispersed week for points we've seen yet.
Yeah.
Because after you and Fowler's game,
It seems like a very
I
easy
really
week
do
to
think
predict.
that I think it's going to be 8-point to 15-point ball games the rest of the way through, if not higher.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate that take at all. I think, obviously, you didn't do the last 3 weeks. I mean, I feel like the last 3 weeks have been a little more difficult in terms of, like, overall how competitive the matchups
I mean,
have been.
you took Ant over me, dude.
I mean, it was a competitive matchup, though. Like, you
It
know what
was-
I mean? Like,
That's
I said that
that's
was
why
going to be
still
game. Yo,
Ant is my
I
number
did
one.
say that was going to be game of the week. Like, I had
Dude,
a feeling that was going to be game of the
I
week.
was shitting my pants. I don't know how the Lions scored that many points without Jared Goff getting 21 fantasy points.
Oh, dude, I needed Goff to get, like, I had a bet, and I needed Goff to get passing yards. I also needed Henry rushing yards, but I was surprised that Goff didn't hit the passing yards. He needed, like, 225, I think, or like 200.
Those running backs ran the hell out of their legs, so they had a great game on the ground.
And Goff is
Great
due.
game.
Goff is due. The offense just looks very good. Looks like they aren't going to miss a beat without Ben Johnson, which kind of looks rough for Bears fans. Ben Johnson looking a little...
I wouldn't say rough, but
makes-
I mean, you saw that flea flicker to Luther Burden.
No, I mean...
Longest passing touchdown of the year.
Obviously, I mean, Ben Johnson looking great. Just, you know what, it more so, I would say, it doesn't, like, hurt you guys as much. It probably just, like, sucks to kind of see that, like, you would have liked to see the Lions offense show a clear, like...
Rumble.
Yeah, like, you would have wanted
They
to
did
show
week one, though. They did week one.
That's fair. You want to see, like, I mean, obviously they've stepped it up crazy, but, like, seeing that, like, clear step back in the offense would have been nice. I mean, I don't think the offense is entirely the same. I do think that it has taken a step back a little bit, but I don't know if
I think
Ben
the Lions
Johnson
are
was
still
entirely.
Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't know how much entirely it was Ben Johnson
Ben.
now in the offense. I do think that it was a big part, but almost to say of like is like it makes me kind of just think of like how good of a head coach Dan Campbell is, honestly. Because
I would also go to say, like, I listened to Amon Ra talk on his podcast, and he said that they've been training that when he got the run to flip to Gibbs, they've been training that forever. Forever. Like, almost, he didn't say when they began it, but he said it was a very long time. And Gibbs said last weekend that he didn't think they were ever going to run the play. And then they ran it against Baltimore. So I think they still have some things built in from Ben, and the boys have that knowledge and the talent.
well,
Like they have,
I'm pretty sure the offensive coordinator was the old QB's coach or something.
not QB, we got the QB coach.
I'm pretty sure the offensive coordinator was somebody in the coaching tree. Are you looking that up?
Yeah.
Because I really wouldn't be surprised if there is a lot of Ben Johnson still lingering around in that playbook.
He was the passing game coordinator for the Denver Broncos, and he was senior offensive assistant in 2022 until present. Until he
with the
took
Lions.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do believe that Mr.
Yeah.
Morton has a lot of built-in things from Ben's playbook still.
Probably.
And once that bag of tricks runs out, it runs out. It's dry. But I think they almost have like 5 years of bags of tricks.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it also gets to the point that like you have such talented players. Like
They had the most
Amon-Ra.
talented offense in the NFL.
Yeah, like you have guys like Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Laporta, JMO that like it gives you
Penei
so
Sewell.
yeah, exactly. Like
Like
literally so even Montgomery, like I said, like there's so many quality guys in that offense that are so versatile that it just gives you the ability to do the bullshit that they do. That like
so much.
other teams just can't do it.
So much shit.
Because not only do they
No.
have like the talent, but like their guys have the brains for it too. That's why
Dude.
like a Dante Thornton on the Raiders. I like Dante Thornton. I think he could be a solid player. But I mean, I think like statistics like one of 3 players. It's like him, Calvin Johnson, and like somebody else to have like 6'5", the speed like a 4.3 40, and like
Yeah.
I mean, he's just
Like, athletic
okay.
freak.
You know what I mean? Like a guy like
Where's the
Amon-Ra,
IQ at?
great player, but he is also mentally there as well, which is
He
what
knows
gives you the
game
ability to
so well.
do these. All right, another technical difficulty right there at the end of that. But that'll be all for the week 4 schedule predictions along with the power rankings. Big thank you to Loudy for joining us on the video today. Had a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously, a little bit of a longer video, so a lot more ball talk from not just me, but also another member of the league you get to listen to today. As always, if anybody wants to hop on this in the future, I'm always open to doing this, working around you guys, getting you on this. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys watch the next one.